So we didn't leave you in the best place last week. In that video, our van had just blown a fuse, we lost all power, and honestly, we were barely holding it together.
And all of a sudden, everything stopped working.
This kind of stuff wears me down. It's just scary. I don't know, our propane's already not working. And now we just blew some sort of fuse. But now, the van is fixed, fingers crossed, and after a much needed reset here at this RV park in the Alabama Gulf, we are officially back in business. Which is perfect because today we're headed to an Alabama state park where Bob is hoping to do an upgrade that he is very, very excited for. And then we're gonna be stepping back in time to explore the World War II battleship USS Alabama and the submarine USS Drum. And if you're new here, we're Bob and Hillary, and 8 months ago, we left behind normal life to chase a dream of exploring all 50 states by van. And this journey has a crazy way of giving us low lows and high highs back to back.
Welcome from a very cold Alabama. If you've been following our journey, you know that things haven't been exactly smooth lately. We still have no propane, and at this point, we're just hoping that nothing else breaks before we leave the state. But also today, I was really hoping to do an upgrade. Mr. Lemon really doesn't deserve it, but it's something that I have been looking forward to for quite some time. But we'll see if this upgrade and this day goes as planned, because not a lot's been going our way lately. Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about backing out of this spot after the weather that we had last night. This gravel's actually pretty soft and it's just sitting on top of this kind of loose dirt. I get to back out of this with our two-wheel drive ProMaster. I think you can kind of see the rut right here. It's like 4 inches down. Same thing up here in front. You can kind of see there's a nice big rut right there. I was actually planning to climb underneath the van to remove all of the propane hoses, but between the gravel and the uneven ground underneath the van and this weather that we're having, that's a no-go. So we'll see, maybe later today, maybe later this week, but I definitely need to get those hoses removed. All right. Whew. Yikes. All of my tools I moved back here. Now I don't have room for any of my cords. Let's see. I'm gonna have to find a new home for this in the van. So I found a little trick for draining these when you go to store it in your van. You just point the arrow down and then round. It helps get all the water out of here so that when you store it, you don't get mold and nastiness going in there. And it takes just a second. Storage is such a premium in our van. I don't think you can ever have enough. But we need to ship a few things off, so that would definitely help clearing out some of this stuff. Oh man, I got a lot of tools in there. I think the last item that I need to do before we depart is actually empty the cassette. I'll spare you guys and won't make you watch that.
No one prepared me for the humidity that Alabama has, and then now the cold. It's like Alabama can't make up its mind. It's March. When we got here, the humidity was so bad.
All right, I think the last thing we need to do is take out the trash.
Take out the trash. Yeah, it's so muddy outside right now. We really wanted to do a beach day in Alabama. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Not with this weather. All right, now I did see that they had an 11 o'clock sharp departure. We got 15 minutes.
Oh no!
We're not the tools within the box.
We're running late once again. Apparently you have to get out of here by 11. It's 10:44.
Well, according to the internet, it is currently 60 degrees outside. And it's only gonna get to like 68 degrees.
What's the humidity? Because it feels colder than 68. So this is our bay, and it's windy. This is a little bit of the RV park.
Yeah, we kind of got the last spot available, and I can see why, because we're like off in the middle of nowhere. Everybody else is over there. And we got here when it's dark, so we're just like driving across the dirt to get here, or the grass.
There are some RVs over here, but they look like they're just like there. And then that's been our view. But I am grateful we had air conditioning because it was, for the first 2 days, it was so hot.
Let's see, I think we're good. We've got water, sewer, propane, cassette are all taken care of. The dishes are done. We don't need to fill the water tank. Everything's put away. The laundry's done. I ate breakfast, did you?
No.
Well, that's on you. I think we're ready to attempt backing out of this thing. The ProMaster can handle everything. I guess I shouldn't worry at all. That was a big rut. I mean, you have to admit, look at it.
We went to this Mediterranean place, but Bob always gets flack about not backing in. So, what'd you do, Bob?
I backed in. See, I do back in every once in a while. I have to admit though, if you guys wouldn't have commented that, I probably wouldn't have backed in here. I'd have gone to the back and just parked in there. Thank you. Gas is done, groceries are done, lunch is done. I think we're gonna end up having to make 2 stops. We have 2 returns that we need to make. One is the United States Postal Service and one is UPS.
What do we got here? What is that?
That's a present for later.
Okay.
I mean, I got this thing down, right?
I know.
What? Played some Tetris in here.
We have a garage.
Package number 1. I need to get some tape to tape it up. Item number 1 done.
And all I'm gonna say is Alabama post office. That was a good experience. That was easy.
Easy, in and out, got her done. That one was a little more painful, a little more challenging because we didn't have the label printed. It took a little extra time, but we got it.
They printed it.
And they printed it for us, so all good. I think that concludes our errands. Hello, we have a reservation?
So, you are going to be on Site 93, checking out tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, we're at Mayer State Park, and it was $60 to stay here for the night. That included taxes and fees and everything. The coolest thing is people have went on YouTube and filmed every single spot here. So we were able to go to YouTube and look at the spots that were available and pick the best one we wanted. So there was not very many available, like 5 or 6, but we picked Site 93. And because it's close to a bathroom, and I believe it had no trees over it for like Starlink.
I think we're this open site right here.
Oh, look at those bathrooms.
See, they're up high because of hurricanes and floods.
Oh yeah, here we are, 93. Oh, there's lots of water. A lot of rain last night.
How's that looking?
Looks good. How level is it? I think it's pretty level.
I noticed that the sewer line's pretty far back. Are we in line? Because that's going to be a full stretch.
I would say like another foot.
Another foot back?
But how's our level?
Good, we're a little bit higher in the back, but that's normally what we want.
All right, I'm gonna go up there and check out the bathrooms. It's looking nice. It's looking like there's a lot of bathrooms to choose from. Wow. These bathrooms are so nice. Okay. Should have been staying at a state park the whole time.
It is time to do the upgrade that I have been waiting to do. Big thank you to eTrailer for partnering up with us on this video today. I'll put a QR code right here on the screen that will link to our storefront where you can see all of the upgrades that we have put in our van from eTrailer. But now it's time to do a water filtration upgrade from Blue Technology. So this filtration kit from Blue Technology comes with this nice carrying case. Inside here you have a 3-stage filter, and you can actually see that they've got longevity, off-grid, and tasty. These canisters have individual filters in it. They come with the tool so that you can, loosen them up. Sorry, it's right here. It comes with this tool so you can take off these housings, replace all these canisters, and you get about 3 to 6 months of continuous use out of this. So this will last a really long time in our van. A couple things that I really liked about this kit were it comes with the splitter, and all of this is for garden hoses and potable water hoses. It also comes with a pressure regulator, and as you can see, all of the fittings are stainless steel. The thing that I'm really impressed by are these high quality stainless steel quick connects. So you can attach this to your garden hose wherever it needs to go, and it just makes it so quick and easy to set up your water system when you arrive. This kit does come with a short one. This is supposed to go from your rig to the filter, and it comes with a much longer 25-foot hose that will go from the water source to the filter itself. What I plan to do is something slightly different. I want to get away from having to, set up the water filter on the outside of the van and do all that, because we tend to fill up in some locations that will be a little more difficult. So what I want to do is, because I have a city water fill and a pump, and they come together inside the van, I am going to actually connect there so that all of the water that flows either through the city connection or the water pump goes through this filter and then directly to the faucet. My plan, which I won't bore you guys with all the details, but this is going to sit right here.
Oh, nice.
And then right behind this is my water tank. So I'm going to just punch a hole through there and snake all the hoses in there. I had to buy these shark bite connections to tie into my existing water lines. If you guys remember, a long time ago in the van, I actually had a pressure reducing valve that failed and was giving us all sorts of water problems. So I ripped all that out and I put these in and bypassed all that. These ones have threaded connections on one side so that I can tie it into these hoses. We should be good.
All right, let's go.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. First thing I need to do, because the filter sits a little bit higher, I'm gonna drill a hole right there. Here goes nothing. And some of you might be saying, Bob, why are you doing that? Well, I'm using the tools that I've got here on the road. Someday I'll come back here and make this all look really pretty, but in the meantime, we're gonna go with this. Look at that high quality construction right there. You can just use a utility knife to just hack it apart. It's awesome. Come on, Hillary, come on down underneath here. I don't think you've been down here. This right here is the fix that I installed several years ago when we had our filter that was here and we had our pressure relief and it was leaking.
Okay.
That was the source of one of the leaks that we had here. So I went ahead and changed that out. So now what I'm gonna do, instead of just like bypassing it and looping it through, I'm gonna add in the filter. So this is the filter supply. So this is the supply side here. And then this secondary line will go back over here. Now it's really long. I'm just gonna coil the cable up and stick it back in here. So then all you really need to do is slide it in, and then you twist this fitting.
Oh.
It basically bites it down.
Those are done. That actually was really nice.
All right, it's time to do a test. So Hillary, what I'll have you do is I'll have you go in, turn the water pump on. We'll flush it through the sink. It's gonna blow out a ton of air because you got all that new lines plus the filters. Okay. Once it's nice and steady,
yeah. How are we
then we should be good.
Well, is it gonna taste better?
It will taste better.
That's when we'll know. We'll just keep drinking until it tastes better.
Yes. Life lessons right there. Drink till it tastes better. I'm just saying. Okay, but I'll stay in here and watch for leaks. If I scream and holler, then you know to turn it off.
Okay. Okay, it's starting with a slow trickle. Any leaks?
Not yet, but keep in mind the system isn't pressurized yet. You got to blow out all the air first, then we'll turn it off, and then the pump will pressurize the system, and that's when we're at max pressure.
Okay. Now it's just air. Nothing's coming through. Now water's coming through.
I can hear a ton of air.
It looks fresher.
It's more clear. Okay, go ahead and hit stop or turn the sink off. Okay. Kind of being rough with it just to make sure it like doesn't jiggle loose, or if it's going to, it will do that now. I think that's good.
Should we clean up?
I'm impressed with myself. Big thank you to eTrailer for helping us out with this Blue Technology water filter. The 3-stage filter is going to give me a lot of confidence as we continue to be on the road and having fresh, clean drinking water. And I just love that design and how compact it is. It fits so nice in there. So again, here is the link to the QR code for our storefront where you can find this item and everything that we've installed in the van from eTrailer. We'll also leave all of those links in the description below.
Let's go drink some water. Oh, look at all the bubbles.
There's still a little air in the system, so I'm sure with those new filters it needs to purge. I don't smell anything. It tastes good. Look,
Yeah.
it all went clear.
Yep.
I drank the whole glass.
Well, I actually need to take my vitamins, so I'm going to. But cheers. Let's go. Good job, Bob. High five. You always seem to impress me more and more. I don't know how you do it.
I need you to hold my 2-micron filtered water.
You're dumb.
2 days ago, it was so humid and muggy and disgusting.
It made me question why we even came to the Gulf, if I'm being honest.
I would agree. Then yesterday was like cloudy and gloomy. Then it rained all night long. And then today, after the clouds cleared this morning, perfectly blue sky.
I actually was up at 2 a.m. because of the rain and the wind, and then I kept looking at the weather, seeing tornado watch. I was scared to death. I'm not gonna lie.
I was sleeping like a baby, hearing the pitter patter of the rain.
You're annoying.
Done!
Are you not impressed? This is the nicest state park we've ever stayed in.
I would agree with that.
Maybe it's all Alabama state parks, because there's another one called Gulf State Park I tried to get into, literally could not. It was full, but I just was impressed because like the state parks are sold out. Okay.
I can see why.
Me too. We did a really long outdoor walk. It's currently a little after 5 p.m. and it's dinner time. And since we have no propane, we don't get to cook on our stove. We're gonna use our Ninja Flip, and I'm gonna cook dinner. I think this still technically probably isn't cooking dinner. I know, I forget which video, either last video or the video before, I pulled a lemon and had to cook dinner. And I just made pizza. Sorry guys, if you're upset by that. But it's just our options right now. And tonight's dinner is not even better. Tonight we have a choice between corn dogs and fries or pizza. I mean, we're just eating healthy over here. They're a little freezer burned.
Show the people.
Okay. Here's dinner.
The lighting is... Good job, Hillary. You did work really, really hard on this. I appreciate it. Aww.
Look at that steam coming out of it.
Whew. Actually, pretty good corn dogs for being store-bought.
guys gotta see the reality of what we're living in. We have no propane, and it's so cold this morning. It's freezing in here.
Cold. But our thermostat says that it's 49 degrees in here.
It's, I hate to complain because I know it's gonna be getting hot again, but the no propane, yeah, that's affecting us. You know what? I think I'm gonna run up and take a hot shower to warm up. Oh, it's so cold out here. Oh, good morning. It's a beautiful day. But it's too cold. I wasn't lying. I'm gonna go take a shower. I wasn't kidding around. I'm gonna go take a shower, get ready for the day. Take my coffee, warm up. Ta-da! All clean, and it doesn't feel as cold out here anymore. But I do see that Bob's under the van.
It is time to remove the propane hoses that are leaking. As you guys can see, maybe a little bit better lighting today, that hose is really cracked and is actually leaking right back over here on this corner. So I'm going to start taking this off and see what I can figure out. All right, let me get you up to speed. I have got the hose removed and I went ahead and I taped the lines. I don't have any caps, so I put a little piece of tape over these threads to protect it. I also, where's my finger? Put a piece of tape over this one and kind of put this housing back on that's right here so that we can be safe and protect all that while we wait for a brand new hose, which is down there, and I'll show you that here once I get out from underneath the van because it's really cramped. This is super fun. I love being under here. I was hoping this might give me a part number. Okay, won't be using this. Okay, but that's where it was leaking. It was like spraying out, giving us the big cloud. But the way in which they routed it, you can see, they had it really tight like this. We don't need a hose that long. We could route this so that it would be better and then not do that. Let me wash my hands, get this mess cleaned up.
Laundry day. Breakfast is served. Well, it's time to go. It's time to leave this amazing state park. We 100% recommend this place. And I guess we forgot. Bob said he knew, but I didn't. There's actually a cool boardwalk where you can go bird watching on. We just walked it. It was amazing. The one thing I will say is I felt like alligators were going to be a bigger issue than they were because there were signs everywhere. And I was actually looking for them from each dock we would go on. Never saw one. All right, time to go. We got to go. It's already in the workout. Yes, we just took a really long walk. It's 11:06. We were supposed to be gone by 11. Time to go. Mayer State Park.
Oh, yep.
10 out of 10.
Yes. We got the hose off for the propane.
Yep, you did.
We got the new water setup all taken care of.
Yep, you did. I made dinner.
You made dinner. We got all of our water tank full. Everything else is empty.
Yep.
It turned out great.
Yep.
Hello.
It's $30 for parking. That will include one adult ticket.
Okay.
You buy the other inside.
Okay. So there's two things that I was looking forward to seeing here. One is the USS Drum. It was commissioned right before the attack on Pearl Harbor. It ended up being one of the more successful successful submarines. And it completed 12 war patrols in the Pacific, and it sank 15 enemy ships. So I've actually never been inside of a submarine, so I'm very, very interested to see what that is and how big it is in there, because I hear it's small.
It says length is 311 feet. Crew, about 60 to 80 sailors, could dive around 300 feet deep. And it's one of the few submarines in the world displayed completely out of the water, so visitors could walk through it.
Not being in the water is kind of cool. That's really allows you to see the entire thing and what it looks like all the way through. Oh, yes, I want to go inside. I'm assuming that's where your site is. Whoa, the torpedo room.
Torpedo was carried in each of the 6 torpedo tubes, and 8 reloads were stowed in this compartment. There were also 15 bunks for enlisted men. Okay?
Yeah, these are the Mark 14. This is what one looks like. See how big it is? I mean, I kind of have enough room. This feels like an airplane galley.
Officer's pantry, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Officer's pantry. And then you walk down, more beds. Oh my goodness gracious.
I mean, I wouldn't even fit.
No. And then you have your little,
Like one person can sleep and one person can work.
you store that, and then you have a desk. Look at this bed.
4 bunks. I think they hot bunked too, if I remember right.
Being on that bottom bunk, that's 1, 2, 3.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they would hot bunk where they would have you'd have one person sleeping and they would basically get up and then the next person would get right back in that bed and go back to sleep. Because they only had so much space to lay down to sleep. You wouldn't have your own space. Okay, here we go. All analog gauges. Wow. Oh, there is a few more decks down below, though. So there's a freezer under the floor. 1980. Man, did this thing run until 1980? Wow. This is built in the 1930s and it still works. So this is the electrical room where you have the batteries up front. Well, you have the engines forward of this, then you have the batteries, and then back here is where you have all the controls for your electrical stuff. So you got all your battery amperages and outputs and watts and everything. And there are so many of these little tight hatches. This must be the rear torpedo room. I didn't know that they had torpedoes at the back of the boat. What is that a gun? What is that?
And there's more beds. Look at, could you imagine you're sleeping right next to a torpedo?
You'd get used to it, I guess.
Whoa, almost hit my head. Everything you hoped it would be and more?
Well, it was my first time being in a submarine. It was pretty cool. I was surprised at how small the doors between the different compartments are. And the sleeping accommodations, I mean, like you were saying just a second ago, you're literally sleeping with torpedoes. We can't see it from here, but the USS Alabama is right over there.
Wow, never lost a man to enemy action. Shot down a confirmed 22 enemy aircraft. The mighty A, USS Alabama.
I'm always amazed by how many people are on the ship. Between 2,350 and 2,500 officers and enlisted. That, I just can't imagine there being that many people on a ship this size. And we didn't have just one, we had lots of them. Pretty impressed.
Commissioned August 16th, 1942.
I could do this. These are the shells that they would shoot. I mean, it's almost as tall as I am. Oh, so I'm the aimer. I don't know, there must have been something here to aim. I'd have to sit like this to aim. Because I know like one person would stand here and load rounds. And man, you'd be deaf from standing this close to that gun, just boom. And they would shoot like bang, 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 bang. Oh wow, this gun's seen some better days. Just more guns. Here, we'll walk over here. And I say we go inside. Oh wow, this is what it did? So it pretty much looks like it was commissioned in Norfolk, went up to, I think, to the UK, went around Iceland, Finland, came all the way back down, through the Panama Canal. And actually, if I believe that is New Caledonia.
No way, because that's Fiji.
I kind of feel like we're going the back way.
I'm surprised they just let you wander. The battle bridge. Oh, wow. Through this doorway is a heavily armored area called the conning station, also referred to as the battle bridge. Oh, during an enemy attack, the captain commanded the ship from the inside this compartment where he and his crew were protected by 16-inch thick armor plate. So what, they went and hid?
Yeah, so that they could control the boat and talk to everybody, tell them what to do.
You can't go really in there though.
No, and it's really dark, so it's hard to see. I think there's another entrance over here. Maybe it's... No, you can't really see in there.
Oh, look at this is the captain's sea cabin.
Where are you?
I'm hiding.
I lost you.
Look this is the captain's sea cabin. Look at how he has a little phone above his bed. I'm sure they would call him and be like, Captain, we need you.
And then I'm assuming this is like the radio room. Wow, look at all that stuff. That's like, I have to imagine that's all original.
I think we're as high as you can go. At least they're gonna allow us to go. Oh, here we go. You think? Oh, Bob. We're gonna have to climb back down.
So we need to wander our way. There is a fast way to go down these, but it's dangerous.
What, you're gonna fall?
Yeah, you slide down the handrails.
This is...
It's a statter.
Look I could barely fit down this ladder. That was a little scary. We're going down another level?
Well, we can go out here and see where we're at.
I feel like it's easier to go down outside. Oh wow, what's this?
This is where the flags, you can wave these flags for different numbers, and I don't know. I wasn't in the Navy, but I know you can.
Okay.
Whoa, how would you shoot this? So how does this work? I see some foot pedals here, which that one still works. I'm assuming the shells come up here, and then you would load it and discard like the casing here, maybe? That would be my guess. Oh, somebody can sit up here. I didn't even see this. So there's There's seats right here. Battle orders. I would love to know how this whole system works. This is crazy. And I couldn't imagine standing in here when it shoots. It would be so loud. And this is where the gun can slide. Or the...
So how many decks on it?
So I counted 6 decks kind of below the main teak deck, the exterior one. And then there was like a total of 18 decks all the way to the very top.
Really?
The tippy top.
Okay guys, we're done. Oh, there's an event going on over there. That's cool. We parked over here so that we can get out of the way and have some lunch. And Bob's making lunch. And guess what we're gonna do, guys? It's time. The rules of this map to be able to mark off a state are as follows. We have to sleep in a Class B van at least one night in the state. Also, we have to sleep for free at least one night in the state, which in Alabama, we slept at a Cracker Barrel and it was very humid. Not my favorite night's sleep ever. And have a lemon moment.
It's been good to us. Definitely enjoyed the Space Museum up in Huntsville and seeing the battleship down here on the coast.
I think your favorite was the submarine.
Alabama's done. It's been good to us. Now we are off to Mississippi. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time when we're in Mississippi. Bye, guys.